Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to exam oriented batch for May 24 exams and November 24 exams. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. Some of you might know me. My name is THARUN'S and I am indirect tax faculty for quite a long time and some more years also with all your blessings. And how many of you are appearing for November 24? Okay, fine. So because like I got message from some students stating that sir, we are appearing for November 24. Is this relevant for November 24 exam also? So yes. So therefore, whatever okay. So whatever this batch is, this exam oriented batch that will be equally applicable for May 24 and November 24 exams. However, usually any attempt, all the amendments up to 6 months before that exam month will be applicable. For example, you are appearing for May 24. All the changes in the law by way of amendments, by way of notifications or changes in rules or circulars, whatever it is, up to which date will be applicable for you? Up to October, 31st October 2023, whatever changes that happened. So that will be applicable for May 24 exam. If you are appearing for November 24 exam, all the changes up to 30th April will be applicable. 30th April 2024. Right now we are in which month? So therefore, any changes which is going to happen in December, Jan, February, March and April, that will be applicable for November 24 exam. How will I know that? I will not know. So due to that reason, those who are appearing for November 24 exam, you have to follow the amendments. So which usually every attempt I will post the amendments video in my YouTube channel. So therefore, those who said you are appearing for November 24, same this portion plus extra amendments, you need to watch one video in my YouTube channel, so that will be sufficient. But for those who are appearing for May 24 exam, so whatever classes that you are attending, this batch, whatever this batch that you are attending, that will be sufficient, okay? And all the amendments, everything will be incorporated into the discussion itself, and there won't be anything extra that you need to refer. Okay, fine. So with that, we'll just kickstart. Yes. So you have been provided with 3 volumes of resource book. So for those who are attending this exam oriented batch, so you will be provided with 3 volumes of resource book and 1 solved workbook. So total 4 books will be provided to you. So you might have got volume 1. So 2 and 3 you will be receiving in the due course. Some of you might have received 2 and 3. So maybe if you have already received it, otherwise, so they will be giving it to you because you have joined from today only, right? So therefore today they would have given volume 1 and tomorrow, day after tomorrow, they will give you volume 2 and volume 3 and thereby solved workbook also you will be getting. So these 4 books. Sir, what does these books contain? So this 3 volumes of resource book will contain the entire information, whatever is there in the study material, plus we have assignments, plus summary is also given at the end of each and every chapter. So at the end of every chapter, I have given the summary, and so that once that chapter is completed, if you want to revise that also, you can revise it parallelly and you don't have to wait for any other summary book, etc. and all. Plus, to practice more questions, because ICAS study material has given limited questions only. But what I did is that I have made a compilation of last 5 years. So because GST came from 2017. So from May 2018 onwards, ICAI started testing those questions in the exam. So therefore 2018 to 2023 November attempt, So all past exam questions, RTP questions, MTP questions answered as per latest amendments. That is important because whatever provisions that we had in 2018, so those provisions might have changed as on today. So therefore all those questions answered as per latest provisions. So I have made a compilation. So that book also you will be receiving. So these 4 books will be sufficient. You don't have to read anything beyond this. You don't have to refer to study material or any other ICI resources. This will be comprehensive. That will be sufficient. And even when you are attending the classes, so some extra points or extra notes that I will be giving. So that information, you just maintain one notebook, and in that notebook you make note, not big notebook and all, a small notebook will be sufficient, and hardly some 50 pages, 200 pages, not more than that. So only thing, extra information, sometimes whatever is there, so we might be interlinking between the provisions. So we have in one chapter one provision that I will be connecting with some other chapter, some other provision. So these interlinking provisions are very, very important at CA final level. So that for that reason I am asking you to maintain one notebook. So that will be enough, and you don't have to buy one good notebook and waste resources and all. Any small diary etc. also will be sufficient. Okay, anyhow you will maintain all in one, everything you will write in one book only. So therefore like that also it is fine, no issue. And then so I have to just give you a clarity about the difference between this regular batch and exam oriented batch. So many students have been asking me, sir, regular batch we missed and we joined for exam oriented batch. What's basically the difference between regular and exam oriented? See, actually what has happened is that previously many CA final students would not have studied GST at their intermediate level. So because they will be studying old indirect taxes and they will be coming for CA final. So that's the reason why I'll be taking everything from the scratch, and everything slowly, patiently I will be explaining point by point. Like intermediate portion also I will cover, plus final portion also I will be covering in detail. And because of that, the number of hours will be like 200 hours it was taking. So problem is like I have to explain inter portion also for them, final portion also for them. And thereafter, if you see new syllabus, as you are all appearing for new syllabus, that is May 2024 attempt onwards, definitely in your intermediate you would have learnt GST only. I will not say that you remember GST, but you have studied GST only at intermediate level, correct? So due to that reason, what I told to many students is that if you have not properly studied GST at intermediate, or you studied but completely it went out of your mind, so please go for regular batch, because I'll do the same thing. Inter portion also I'll cover, again final portion also I'll be covering. So it will be so much detail and it will be suitable for you, like that I said. But some students ask me, sir, what if in intermediate we have studied GST, sir, even in our articleship also, basics and all we know, so but we cannot spend 200 hours, sir, is there any other way? So that's where I just brought this exam oriented batch. So it should not be like full in depth, at the same time it should not be like a fast track batch. So in between these two, so that's what I have made it like an exam oriented batch, wherein basic concepts and all we will be learning like a quick revision only. Intermediate topics I will cover here also, but that will be like a revision, not bare act. Bare act I will not touch, because already you would have studied intermediate, and even at final level you cannot expect ICI to ask you that basic questions and all. So from final exam point of view, we will do the learning of all the intermediate chapters, but we will focus more on problem solving with respect to that. Intermediate chapters we will be focusing more on problem solving than the bare act. Then whatever chapters that are there at CA final level only, not at intermediate, like place of supply, and then even input tax credit extra sections, then offenses and penalties, appeals, refunds, like that lot of chapters are there. So those areas and all in detail we will be learning. Okay. And so you have got 3 volumes of resource book. In that, volume 1, volume 2 is GST, whereas volume 3 is customs and foreign trade policy. I'm just giving you the weightage with respect to that. And volume 1 and volume 2, so these 2 books are related to GST, whereas volume 3 is customs and foreign trade policy. There is a small area called as foreign trade policy, and which actually foreign trade policy is a very big area, like 100 mark subject it is. But that much they have not given at CA final. Some basics of foreign trade policy. Previously, this foreign trade policy was called as EXIM policy, export and import policy. So as a CA, you should be also having an idea about how the foreign trade happens and what are the regulations that we have, etc. and what are the incentives that are available to exporter. For that reason, they have given that as one chapter. And the weightage of this customs and FTP is only 20 marks now. Previously, it was for 25 marks, but now they have made it only for 20 marks. And volume 3 will be a small book only, and so 20 marks accordingly we will be preparing that also. And according to me, it's a weightage area because the content is less, but you will be getting 20 marks. And volume 1 is your majorly CA intermediate portion plus CA final, few chapters are also there. But volume 1 is mostly case study based questions you will be getting from volume 1. And the weightage of this volume 1 is literally like 50 marks. Volume 1 itself will be for 50 marks, all the portions, whatever I have given in volume 1. And volume 2 portion is for 30 marks. So now GST is for 80 marks. And volume 1 chapters like exemptions, input tax credit, taxable event, value of supply, time of supply, composition scheme, place of supply, these are the chapters which will be mostly case study type. Case study type means problematic. So wherein you will not be writing much of theory, you will be solving more of problems only. So purely it will be case study type. Case study, whereas volume 2 will be mix of situation based questions and theory questions. Situation based questions means somewhere in intermediate itself you would have seen, like they will give a situation and we need to just apply the provision, we need to arrive at the answer. For example, they will give one situation, so and so person started business, this is their turnover, are they required to register or not, like that. Situation based questions plus direct theory questions also we will be getting. So that will be mostly from volume 2, situation based plus theory, situation based plus theory, whereas volume 3 will be all case study type questions only because customs na. So in customs and foreign trade policy, as the weightage is only 20 marks, so that's the reason why. So we will not have much of like problematic. So it is like mixture. Few 1 or 2 questions will be problematic questions will be there, 1 or 2 situation based questions and theory questions. Everything mixed together will be there. So covering all types of questions. Covering all types of questions. So according to me, you need to focus on volume 1 and volume 3. Volume 1 and volume 3. Reason, 50 plus 20. There itself you will be getting like 70 marks. And volume 2, so you can read thereafter. So because that is for 30 marks. So in this 70 marks itself, if you are able to aim for 60 marks, so in that 30 marks, So even if you get 10 marks also, you will be in 70s. Okay. And how many marks do you expect? So you are attending the classes and you have some expectation in your mind, okay, this many marks I should be getting, because everything goes by strategy only. Now that in CA final, they have changed the number of papers from 8 papers to 6 papers, but of course, you have to write self-paced modules, but self-paced modules will not be counted for your result. Self-paced module is separate. So that marks will not be added to your regular 6 papers. And it's not like you need to get 50 marks there or 60 marks there so that it will be added here, not like that. These 6 papers are independent and you have to write 4 self-paced modules. Suppose if you are like, they have given some exemptions and all, minimum 2 will be there, otherwise 4 self-paced modules are there. And this self-paced module for May attempt, I think they gave a relaxation that you don't have to write now, you can write it later. So therefore, for your May 24 exam, because see, once you complete this, like pen and paper format, thereafter self-paced, even that result time will be there, 2 months. At the time also you can sit and you can complete, mostly it will be like objective only. And even ICI don't have a clarity as to whether it will be like center based or home based. They really are clueless. Maybe by that time, elections and all also will get over and there could be a change in government or the same government will continue, we don't know. ICI may think like it will not work, so we will remove self-paced module, they may remove, we really don't know, because they did not have clarity only because of, Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am, they have introduced this self-paced module. Maybe she would have found it difficult to learn things, so because of that, she insisted on self-paced module. ICI also was forced to bring that. Otherwise, she said, okay, I will not approve the new syllabus curriculum and all. So then they added. Thereafter, ICI thought, how we are going to conduct? If we give it like home-based, so what student will do? So he will do Google and he will select the answers. Correct. And we can ask the student to turn on the webcam also. Students are so intelligent. What they will do is that webcam, they will face this side. They will ask their friend to sit the other side. They will turn the laptop. External webcam we have, na? So he will be answering. We will just look at camera. We will look into the screen and we will look into the camera. We know acting. No, we do a lot of good acting and all. We do that. Then what ICA is going to do, I don't think so. It is productive. Center based means it's a costly affair, because they are not telling like you have to write it only once. You can write as many number of times as you can, and which means that they have to create the infrastructure, right? Proper infrastructure. They realized, okay, it will not work out for us, so it's better we will postpone. Maybe indefinitely be postponed also, we don't know. So don't bother about that. And in these 6 papers, 3 papers in group 2, DT, IDT and this multidisciplinary. Here, if you see, multidisciplinary is an open book system. So it's not a closed book. So you can carry any book like the paper 6 which we had in the past. So the same way. And multidisciplinary case study has all the chapters, all the subjects from your group 1 as well as group 2. Plus in addition, law. SCMP, because I have been taking multidisciplinary case studies also. So I, along with other 2 faculties, so Punarvas sir for DT law and Chinmay sir for FR and SFM, we have started this multidisciplinary case study. It is there in my YouTube channel also, few demo lectures. So what we have seen, like ICI has introduced 8 case studies. In that 8 case studies, mostly the questions are all on FR, SFM, DT, IDT and law. But we don't have questions on SCMP. Rarely we have questions on audit. So due to that reason, law definitely you should be knowing, but not in detail, at least the revision kind of you should be knowing for attempting this multidisciplinary paper. But the challenge will be in DT and IDT, it is not going to be in multidisciplinary. Because multidisciplinary is like MCQ and descriptive. And as it is open book system, definitely you can take the book, and as you are a CA student who has a knowledge of the subject, you know where to refer and you can write it, and clearing that paper will not be a difficult task for you. Mostly the questions are direct questions only. So it's not like too much you need to break your brain, nothing of that sort. So due to that reason, paper 6 superb. So you will be able to easily get 50s to 60s. And group 1 also 3 papers, FR, SFM and audit. So these 3 papers you will be able to score. Whereas the real challenge that you have is group 2, because group 1 3 papers, group 2 only 2 papers literally, because that paper is not a new subject. The summation of all the subjects are 2 open book. So therefore ICI will definitely be tightening the students in DT and IDT. So in the new syllabus, that's what even central council board, like central council meeting, even board of studies, some people have told me that in the new syllabus, CA Institute is clear that they want to make DT and IDT as the difficult papers in group 2. So it is going to be like a nightmare for the students to clear group 2. Group 1 will be like so easy. Group 2 they will make it difficult. Okay. So now there is another advantage on the flip side here. Usually what I have observed from last 3 changes in syllabus, like I have seen the transition from this PE1, PE2 to CPT, IPCC. Thereafter CPT, IPCC to foundation and intermediate I have seen. Foundation to intermediate, and right now the change in syllabus. The first 2 attempts usually will be easy. Even in May 2018, November 2018, same 2018 it came. And when it came, this 18 attempt was very, very easy. Mostly the questions will be from study material only. Okay, so you can also cross check. Maybe in intermediate you would have experienced that, I don't know. So, but this is there from the last 3, generations of change in syllabus. So considering that, definitely for May 2018 and November 2018, how the paper was, I am expecting the same way for May 24 and November 24. So the papers are going to be straight away from the study material, they will ask the questions. So therefore our focus should be more on covering all the questions of study material. One question also we should not leave. That I am going to do in this exam oriented batch. Okay. All the study material questions I will be completing, because that questions directly may be asked in exam, so we don't have to get surprised. And that's why, so study material fully will be covered, all the questions from study material. Thereafter only extra questions, because some students ask me, will you do problem solving like that? So that's why I'm telling you, all study material questions definitely though we will be completing. So not only for this batch, even from your strategically from exam point of view, May 24 attempt, mark my words, you may not have surprised, like after seeing the question paper, 60 to 70% will be taken from study material only. It happened in the past, that's why I am telling you this. So don't worry about this difficulty, etc. and all. So sir, you told it is difficult, at the same time you are telling, see here I am telling you the difficulty of the group 2, but also I am telling you, the cheat code for it. What is it, cheat code? So you are lucky enough, May 24, November 24 is lucky enough. I don't know about 2025, after these 2 attempts, when institute exhausts the questions from study material, then they need to look out for other sources and they will definitely make the paper difficult. Okay, so that's what, and that too first attempt in new syllabus. So usually it will be like flood clearance only. Okay, so they will lift the gates. Okay, come on, go out, and they will not be closing the gate and restricting and all. That's what. But let's prepare in such a way that the paper is difficult. On the flip side, even though all these things are there also, we cannot trust ICI. Okay, so we should prepare in a normal way and assuming that the paper is going to be difficult. Done? Next. This question paper pattern, actually I really don't know, because they have not given any model question paper, etc. But this weightage they have given. So recently CA Institute in their website itself they have given what could be the chapter wise weightage. So based on the chapter wise weightage only I have just given you this. But question paper pattern I am clueless. But I am assuming if they follow the same old question paper style, what they have been testing, so it will be like you will be having 2 components. MCQ is for 30 marks and descriptive will be for 70 marks. And in this 70 marks, question number 1 will be compulsory. Question number 1 compulsory question for 14 marks. And then you need to write remaining 4 questions in 5, 4 out of 5. Okay. So any 4 questions, any 4 out of 5 and 14 marks each. So which means like 5 descriptive questions you need to write, including compulsory question. So 5 into 14, 70 marks, and MCQ will be for 30 marks. In this 14 marks compulsory question, it will definitely be on GST only, not on customs. Customs they will not be giving. So it will be completely on GST. Whereas in this 14 marks remaining questions are there, na? Question number 2 to question number 6. In that you have to write any 4. There they will be making 3 parts, A, B, C. So part A and part B will be for 5 marks. Whereas part C will be for 4 marks and that will be customs. So which means descriptive wise the customs portion will be 16 marks. How 16 marks? You have to write 4 questions. So each question part C will be 4 marks customs. So 4 into 4, 16 marks. Remaining 4 marks they will be testing in MCQ. So in MCQ, GST will be for 26 marks and customs will be for 4 marks. So this is how they will be giving you the weightage, and the first 2 questions will be GST only. Okay. So this is in short your question paper that could be based on what I have seen. Mostly it will be like this only, they will not change. Don't expect customs as an independent part, they will not give like that. So it's like section A GST, section B customs. So customs we will have 20 marks separately. No, nothing of that sort. If you want to attempt a question, in that question, if you need to attempt, you should know customs also. So you cannot take anything for granted, or you cannot skip the chapters and go for exam. Every chapter you should be knowing, because what they do is that sometimes, that's why students will be asking me, sir, can I read only the volume 1 and your volume 3? So volume 2 can I skip and go for the exam? The disadvantage in that is that in a question you will not be able to know all the parts, because you studied volume 1 and volume 3. Okay, customs part, okay, and volume 1 part also if it is there, okay, A and B. What if question number A is related to volume 1 portion and question number B is related to volume 2 portion? Then if you need to attempt that question, you should write all the 3 parts. Now, otherwise you need to write for marks less than 100. Okay. So now you tell me, Pa, what is your expectation considering all these dynamics? So how many marks you should be expecting in group 2 IDT? You can, as if you are going to get that marks or what. So nothing is in my hand, nothing is in your hand, but nothing wrong in having an expectation. Nah? So you can just throw 70 to 80 marks. Okay, then 60 plus marks. Good. Same in the range of 60 to 80. 60 to 80. Super. And that I can guarantee you after completion of this batch. That I can guarantee you. But I need few commitments from your side. Commitment number 1, you should be regular to the classes. And this batch will be for 30 days. So I started on December 7th na, and I am going to conclude this batch on Jan 7th. Jan 7th. Okay. Actually, initially I announced it as December 31st itself. But problem is like because of the heavy rains, etc. and all, so still some students could not attend the online live, and they requested me not to start the batch, but I cannot postpone because of the other students. So that's why I started today, and for the first 3 days, that is today, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I am taking only the morning session. And thereafter from Sunday onwards it will be as regular. So daily the class timings will be morning 6:30 to 8:30 and again evening 6:15 to 8:45. Considering your articleship only, I have made this batch like this. So because 9 o'clock I can keep. The problem is like you have to go for the articleship, etc. So that's why I don't want to disturb that. So that's why mainly for those students I have made this way. And morning 6:30 to 8:30 and evening 6:15 to 8:45. And Sunday will be 7:30 to 1:30. This is our class timing. There is no change in the class timings. But for the first 3 days, so evenings I am not taking. So Sunday onwards it will be normal. So therefore today evening class is not there. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow also the same way. And even like 1 or 2 days you will be asking me leave. So sir, January 1st leave sir, or Christmas leave sir, like that. Considering that only, I just kept up to Jan 7th and 30 days and 4.5 hours each day, plus on Sunday we will be having 5.5 hours. So therefore 140 hours I just made this batch, and therefore this batch you should ensure that you are not missing. That is the first commitment I need from you. Can you do that? Yes. So you have to do that because you need that 60 to 80. Yes, 60 to 80 possible. You will be able to get it. But you should be regular to the classes. Otherwise, what will happen when you miss the class, that portion you have to sit and read. When you are reading it, it will take more time and you may sometimes skip that also. The main problem what I have seen with many students who go for Google Drive is this time discipline. So why face to face and online live is better according to me compared with Google Drive. So of course I am also providing Google Drive lectures, but if any student asks me, I will recommend them to come for face to face or online live only, because there is a time discipline. Okay, morning and evening I have to sit. Difficult only it will be. Everything is difficult in life, and if you sit in that time and listen to the lecture, thereafter it is over now. You will be able to complete the portion. Whereas Google Drive, you will turn on your laptop, you will start watching, because definitely you would have already did that for FR and SFM and all. So even DT. So you will start, so half an hour, okay, one break we will take, mobile. And thereafter, it will go on, keep on going, and 10 lectures itself, you would have taken 1 month to complete. When you are reading on your own, and you will forget. So because that much gap you will be giving, you will forget. What I have read, I don't know. Then is there any summary available in YouTube? DT, revision. It is in Hindi. So let's ask someone. Let's ask someone. Now English revision anywhere available. So this difficulties and all you will be having. That's why I'm telling you, better attend this online live or face to face regularly. That will be sufficient. But you all will be provided with a backup of 40% backup lectures will be provided to you. Even for face-to-face students, online live students also, we are giving a backup of 40%. 40% means what? So the number of hours of this batch will be 140. 140 into 40% will be 56 hours of video lecture will be available to you as backup. Means entire 140 hours is available, but you can watch it for 56 hours. You understood what does it mean? Which means like missing classes, anything you can watch, but don't take that for granted and think like, okay, I can take today leave because morning, because first day everyone will have the josh. First day, okay, second day we will come. But gradually what will happen? Law of diminishing marginal utility, you understood? And slowly somewhere in the mid and all, so 1 or 2 students, AC, camera, table, I have to take classes. Okay, it happens. I know about CA final students. So morning I cannot get up. One day they will miss. Again evening, because morning lecture is connected to evening. Morning I missed, evening what can I do? I cannot understand anything. So gone. And I will watch backup. So thereafter slowly that will get converted to Google Drive. backup it will start, sir, I paid for face-to-face classes, sir, so please convert me for Google Drive classes. Okay, we don't have any problem, because see, we collected fees from you, we have to do service to you, so whatever is your request, we will oblige to that. But is it beneficial to you or not is what you need to think. Okay, so ensure that you are coming regularly. And for face-to-face students, I asked my team to give the facility of attending online live, which means, like, say for example, today morning you got up late, should not happen. So you got up late or you missed to come, etc. So you sit at your place and you attend online live at least. But for online live students, I am not giving the facility of face-to-face. Okay, so for you it is a benefit wherein you can attend the online live also in case you missed, like say evening, because this articleship and all nowadays becoming so much torturous. So like exactly 5 o'clock only they will remember that we are there in the office and some work will come. Okay, so that's why you can attend that online live at least, so sitting in the office or wherever it is, because commuting time if you want to avoid, you can do that. And but try to come for the face-to-face classes to the extent possible, unless otherwise it is like rain or some other extreme situations. Try to attend face-to-face classes, because that nothing is like that. Reason being, there will be a crowd motivation. Students all will be sitting and I will be asking some question, you will be answering, and parallelly you have some doubt and all, you will ask the person sitting next to him, I did not understand what is idiot has said, something like that. So your friend will tell, no, this only you write, make note of it. After class you can get your doubts clarified. So this advantage is there. Online students also have this advantage, but they have to chat. I have to see their chat and I will be replying. When it comes to chat, that freedom of expression will not be there now. So that difficulty will always be there for them. But face-to-face is nothing like that. And online live, sometimes what will happen, as they are sitting in their home, so it's easy for them to sleep also. So what they will do first, today how it started, it's like morning they would have got up, so fully, all things they would have made ready. So open their laptop, sat, everything. Now somewhere exactly 8 o'clock, so like Mahavishnu, it will go posture like this. You tell, I'll listen. And thereafter, slowly the eyes will close. And when they open, it will be 10 o'clock. You understood? No, this happens. So that difficulty is there. But here, if you try to sleep also, you will have a fear. As I am looking at you, so maybe what if this person asks me if I am sleeping, so better not to sleep like that. Some conscious you will be having. That way in this bench where you will sleep. This is designed that way, okay? So it should not be comfortable and you should not sleep also, okay? And then that is the first commitment I need from you, attend to the classes regularly. Second, believe in me. So whatever I am telling is correct only. This is not my first batch. So therefore, don't have a dispute with me stating that, no, sir, in our office we did like that. That is your practice, because law and practice will not always go hand in hand. Law will go on one side, practice will go on the other side. It is law or practice. It's not law and practice. You understood? So law will say something, practice will be different. For example, what are the various modes of deposit of money into electronic cash ledger? Electronic cash ledger is basically one ledger where we will deposit the cash and we will utilize the money for payment of our tax liability, GST liability. What are the various modes of deposit? Law says there are 6 modes of deposit: net banking, debit card, credit card, NEFT, RTGS, over the counter payment, IMPS, UPI, like that 6 modes are there. But reality, 3 modes only: net banking, NEFT, RTGS, over the counter. Credit card, debit card facility also they have not enabled. You understood what I am telling? So law will say something which will not be there in practice. But you cannot write in exam whatever is there in practice. You have to write whatever is there in law. And law says that if you are not making payment to the supplier within 180 days from the date of invoice, so much of the ITC availed by you, you need to reverse, like that law will say. Practice, no EDT is following. Because how department will know whether I am making payment to my supplier or not within 180 days? No one is following. And therefore, can we say in exam, so in practice, no one is following, so therefore this provision is incorrect, like that? No, yaar. So law is there. So we need to go by the law only. And there will be certain stupid assumptions that ICA will be taking. So ICA will take some stupid assumptions while solving the questions and all. But those assumptions may be contradictory in the reality. But we need to go by ICA only because you are writing CA final exam. So CA final or CMA final, whatever exam that you are writing, so you need to go by whatever the institute says. You cannot go by, the reality, so whatever is being followed, okay. So whenever you have any difference of thought or opinion, etc. and all, so don't disturb in the class. So after the class, you ask me, so I will explain to you what is a reality, and wherever you have doubts, you are free to refer your study material also. You can refer the study material. So hard copy, I don't think so you have got it. So soft copy is available in the website, Board of Studies Knowledge Portal. You can see, you can cross refer with respect to that. And you have to trust me. I'll tell like this is important. This is the way in which you need to learn this. That way only you learn. Okay. Third, you need to practice more and more questions. So I'll be providing you solved workbook. So actually it is in preparation, but somewhere in the mid of this batch itself, I will be giving you solved workbook. And that solved workbook, you need to practice more and more questions as and when we complete each and every chapter. So in your free time, you need to do the question and answer. Okay. So if you can do these 3 things plus 4, that is test series. What is the first thing that I asked? Commitment for attending the classes regularly. Number 2, believing in me. Whatever I say is correct. Okay. Number 3, that is practicing questions from the solved workbook. Number 4, attending the test series. So we have made the test series for you, and that will go along with the batch. Every Saturday starting from December 16th. December 16th. Now we started batch on 8th. Okay. December 16th will be our first test. And starting from December 16th, it will go up to February end. Every Saturday, there will be 50 marks test. So what I did entire portion, I'll just share with you the details of the test series and all. So total 7 tests I have divided, entire portion. So means 7 Saturdays, 7 weekends. And each weekend, 50 marks on the respective portion. Portion also I will give it to you as to which portion it will be. And that particular portion, already you are attending the classes. I'll also give you the revision video also for that. Test number 1, 3 chapters. That 3 chapters revision video also will be made available to you. You can revise that. And you can write the test. And the test also not necessary that you have to come here and write. You can sit at your home and you can write it in the A4 sheet. You can scan it and send to us. We will evaluate and give it to you. So this facility we are giving for free to our face-to-face and online live students. But for Google Drive students, we are collecting fees from them. But for you, it is free only. You don't have to pay anything. And this weekend, we give the question paper. You have to submit the answer sheet by Monday. So which means you have literally Saturday, Sunday and Monday, 3 days to sit and write the test. So hardly 1.5 hours. In these 3 days, if you cannot spare 1.5 hours, what you can do is that you can catch one share auto, go to Marina Beach, go and fall in Bay of Bengal and attempt suicide. Not required. You are not at all required for this country. So you are preparing for your exam. 1.5 hours also if you cannot spare, then why you do CA? What is the need of doing CA? which means you should be doing something else. You are that much busy. Maybe you are some Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, something of that category. So stop being too much addiction to your articleship. So you should think about your career also first. So I'm giving you 3 days because I'm telling you this voice. Students are telling, sir, we cannot write now. We will write later and give. Will you evaluate and give? I have to sit and do the evaluation, and I have a team for that. So definitely they cannot do all time at your disposal. Na? So please try to understand. I cannot give it in an unscheduled manner. Sorry. So it is only in a scheduled manner. That's why I am giving you 3 days time. And in the 3 days, 1.5 hours, you need to sit and prepare. And if not now, when will you write? So maybe March and April. You will think that you will be preparing in March and April, but you will not do. I'll tell you now, you will not do. So go with the flow. And sir, I have not prepared anything. You attended the classes. You will attend the class, and that's the first commitment you gave. You will regularly attend the classes. Plus, I am also giving you a revision video. Based on that, you write. And this marks is not going to be adding to your final exam. Na? This is just for practice purpose. Many students lack in writing the test series only. Try to understand that. So in our childhood, what we used to do, so quarterly, half yearly, pre-final, midterm, like that different tests we used to write. And when it comes to final, it will be like final exam was like a cakewalk for us. And where our score will be for 500, 490, 480, like this and all we will be getting in our childhood. What happened to that? Now we will attend the classes, directly we will go to the exam. For us, final, pre-final, midterm, everything is final only. So if not May, at November. If not November, May. No, like that we will become. No. So that is wrong. We should not be like that. You should write as many tests as you can. Now this test series will get over by February mid. Then 2 mock tests will be there for 100 marks. So those 2 mock tests which with a gap of 10 days I have given. So those 2 mock tests for 100 marks when you are writing. So by Feb itself, your revision of indirect tax is also over. Okay. So now you are spending 1 month time, 30 days for attending the classes, mornings and evenings. Thereafter weekends, so 1.5 hours for the purpose of writing the test and maybe some 2 hours for preparation. So you are in touch with the subject, that portion gets completed. Thereafter you will write 2 mock tests, you will revise and you will write 2 mock tests. So with that completely the learning process is over. Thereafter you open indirect tax book 1 day before exam, it's okay. Okay, so March month, April month fully you can focus on other subjects. So even February month also, Jan once this batch gets over, you can focus on other subjects. But Jan and Feb you need to continue with indirect taxes, at least in the weekends you need to prepare and write the respective portion exams and the mock test. Okay, then 1.5 day you have time before the exam. At that time we will do the revision. For that I will be posting rocket revision in my YouTube channel. So that rocket revision is nothing but the sum of all revisions which I am giving you now itself. So that fully anyhow it will be having with you. So 1.5 day before exam you can sit and watch the rocket revision. Summary already there in your book. At the end of each and every chapter you can just see the summary and go through the rocket revision and go for the exam. Enough. Plan clear? Okay. So then you will definitely get 60 plus only. If you are getting less than 60 marks, after result you call me. Okay. And wholeheartedly if you are following this, and thereafter also after result if you are getting like no result less than 60 marks, then you call me and you scold me. It's okay, fine, I will face it. So that much confident I am on me. Okay, so I have the confidence on me, but it is you who should have the confidence on you. Done? Yes. Now coming back to this subject. So I am starting today with introduction to GST. So some students told 80 plus. Was 80 plus? I cannot guarantee. I cannot guarantee 80 plus and all attending exam oriented batch. If you really want 80 plus marks, if you are aiming for rank, etc. and all, so please don't continue in this exam oriented batch and go for regular batch. So you can ask our team, they will help you in conversion. So please purchase the Google Drive lectures. So they will convert you for regular batch, you attend the regular batch. So I don't want to give you a false hope. So that's why I'm making myself clear. So tomorrow thinking that by referring this itself you can get 80 to 90s and all. No, then those students who spend 200 hours sitting in the class, so then they will also will have the problem. No? Then sir, we can also come directly for the exam oriented batch. They'll think I cannot give a false hope. It is actually because in regular batch, nook and corner in the study material, I will be discussing everything and everything like a bare act only. But in this batch, I cannot do that. So try to understand. Fine. So please check page number 1, Introduction to GST. So if you are not having book, you can refer to the PDF which we have shared in the Telegram group for online students. So those who joined recently, so please check your Telegram, you will be able to find. Otherwise, you can look into the screen. See, this introduction to GST is just the basic concept. So this already you know, somewhere at intermediate level you would have studied this, and there is nothing much from this for exam point of view. From exam you will not be getting anything, but this is just like a revision we need to have an idea, that's why. So indirect taxes, we have multiple indirect taxes. But at present we have two major indirect taxes. What are the two major indirect taxes we have at present? GST and customs. GST full form, goods and services tax, and customs duty. These are the two major indirect taxes at present. What is basically the difference between direct and indirect tax? The incidence can be passed on to the next person in case of indirect tax, but the incidence cannot be passed on to the next person in case of direct tax, which means if I make the payment of tax, I have to bear the burden. I cannot in turn transfer it to the next person. But indirect taxes, if I need to pay indirect tax, I can in turn recover it from the next person. So ultimate burden is on the consumer. So this is basically the difference between direct and indirect taxes. And one more important difference is also there, that indirect tax is on the gross amount, whereas income tax or direct tax is on the net amount. For example, I am earning some gross receipts by way of taking classes or from clients, professional income, etc. All incomes, gross amount, I have to pay GST, but income tax I don't have to pay on the gross. From this gross, I need to reduce the expenses. So we have PGBP, various allowable deductions. So after reducing that, I get the income on which I will be paying income tax, which means on the same person, can there be both direct tax as well as indirect tax? Yes. And it is not double taxation. Double taxation means like on the same transaction, the same tax, if it is more than once, that is only double taxation. Here it is not double taxation. We have both direct tax as well as indirect tax. Another example, you take a trader. A trader who is selling the goods is required to pay indirect tax on the sales revenue, whereas on the profit, that is sales revenue minus purchases minus other expenses, he get a profit. On that profit, that person is required to pay income tax. Same is the case of a manufacturer. Manufacturer, when they produce, manufacture and sell goods, on the gross amount they need to pay indirect taxes. Again, they need to arrive at the PGBP, the net. On that net amount only they will be paying income tax. So that is another difference with respect to direct and indirect taxes. So what is the first difference that you understood? Incidence can be transferred, okay. And then this point, revenue equals to gross collections, income equals to revenue minus expenses. Tax is not on income, but on revenue from sale of goods or services. Which tax? Indirect tax. Indirect tax is basically on income or revenue. revenue, not on the income. So it is on the revenue. So whatever is the gross amount, on that gross amount only we need to pay. So don't bother about the utilization of money. Whatever gross amount that we have got, we might have donated it, or we might have spent it for this purpose. Irrelevant. It is only for income tax. Okay, donated. Check whether 80G deduction is available, or spent. So check whether this is allowable as an expenditure under section 37. But in indirect tax, we will not bother about that. Always it will be whatever is the gross amount you collected, on that you pay GST. Simple. Okay. And so on revenue we need to pay indirect taxes. And which is a major source of revenue to government, direct tax or indirect taxes? Indirect tax is the major source of revenue. Okay. And reason being, indirect tax is basically, it's like no one is going to feel the pain in making payment of indirect taxes, because they think that they get it for the goods or services. Whatever goods or services that they are getting, for that they are paying. So actually it will be hidden in the name of price. For example, when you are attending this batch, you have spent some 8,850. For you it is 8,850. For what? Attending the classes. But actually the fees is 7,500 only. Okay. But you will not see this difference as actually a pinch for you, because you are getting the service. You value the service. Okay. So this service is worth 8,850. Or you are purchasing a pen for 50 rupees. In that 50 rupees there is GST, but we will not see the GST, we will see the pen. Okay, this pen is worth 50 rupees. But when it comes to income tax, it is not like that. You are taking out of your pocket and you are paying it. So definitely it will hurt. So that's the reason why many people will not pay income tax. But indirect tax, unknowingly people will be making payment. So that's what many times I say, that indirect tax is like pickpocketing from the public. Pickpocketing, government will do pickpocketing from the public without knowing, because a lot of people don't know that literally they are paying indirect taxes. So what they feel is that they will happily purchase the product or receive the service, and they think that they are paying for the product or service. Only when we go deep we will know. For example, even you also don't know one fact today, that on motor vehicles there is a GST which is 28%. For example, you know, in recent past 1 week, I have seen lot of people posting. So Thar, Mahindra Thar and all is a good vehicle in this floods and all like that, I have seen. So it's a very good car, it seems. Okay. So, and I have also searched for what is the price of Mahindra Thar on road price. Somewhere like 19,50,000 rupees. And you know, this 19,50,000 is on-road price. But what is the price at which manufacturer is selling, you know? Dealer's price, 10 lakhs. Dealer's price is 10 lakhs. But on-road price is 19,50,000. Why? 10 lakhs, 28% is GST. 22% is compensation cess. 50% literally we are paying as GST itself. GST compensation cess is also part of GST. So which means when you buy Mahindra Thar car, inside one budget car is there, 5 lakhs. Okay, one budget car is there, some Renault Kwid or Alto, where it is inside, you have to open and see. Okay, so 5 lakhs we are paying for it. But no idiot thinks about it. What they will feel? I purchased a car worth 19 lakhs. Okay. So the problem with many luxury cars is this. Imported cars. So huge amount of customs duty is paid on imported cars. So for example, this many people will be using Mini Cooper, like that one car is there. So nice car, very nice car. How much? 40 lakhs only. And in that 40 lakhs, some 10 to 15 lakhs will be in the form of customs duty only. But it's okay, luxury car we are using. So that's what we attach the money that we spend for the product or service. That's the reason why the revenue from indirect taxes is always high than income tax. And the number of people who pay voluntarily income tax is very, very less. and even government have to conduct the scrutiny and they have to take up the assessments and they need to do that. But how many they can do? Voluntary payment, indirect tax only high. That's why our subject is always big subject. So an important and major source of tax revenue to government, and this point already we have seen, liability is on one person whereas incidence is on the other person. And next it is regressive in nature, whereas income tax is progressive in nature. Higher the income, more the income tax, because we have slab rates, correct? So up to this much income means lower rate of income tax. If you cross that slab, it will be higher rate of income tax, but GST is not like that. Whether you are rich or poor, there is no difference with respect to the rate of GST. For example, you take a bread. Bread is common, rich or poor, commonly they will consume bread. But the rate of GST on bread will be the same. Packed breads and all are there, na, brown bread, wheat bread, etc. and all. So on that packed breads, so whether it is rich or poor, they will not see the income earning capacity. So the rate of GST is going to be the same. So that is called as regressive in nature, whereas progressive means more income you are able to get more money. So this is basically the difference between direct and indirect taxes. And what are the various indirect taxes that you have seen in the past, you have come across in the past? So right now it is GST and customs duty, but in the past there were many indirect taxes levied by central government, levied by state government. Subsuming that, now we have GST. So what are the indirect taxes levied in the past? You can see in the next page. We had excise duty. That excise duty was levied on manufacture of any goods in the past. Excise duty. Customs duty was levied on import and export, is levied on import and export. So customs duty they have not brought into the ambit of GST. Customs duty they have kept outside the ambit of GST. Reason being, customs duty if brought into GST, the international trade gets affected. Because of any changes in the system, the international trade, mainly exports, get affected. If exports and imports get affected, so what will happen to the currency? The currency will depreciate. So because today the currency is dependent on exports and imports, and if anything happens there, the currency will depreciate. Already the currency is depreciating, and even furthermore at a rapid speed it will depreciate, and it may go to like $1 equals to 100 rupees or 110 rupees, like that. So due to that reason they don't want to touch that, because any new law it has to settle first, because GST is like last 5 years it happened. Even today there are a lot of hiccups in GST. GST is not a great law actually. So it's like they implemented and again they have rectified, and the process is going on, work in progress only. All these years it is work in progress. Even today also it is work in progress. So like recently also they made a big change related to taxation on online money gaming and online gaming platforms. And like this, so everlasting it is. And due to that reason, it has to settle in the trade. And first they will say, whatever you purchase GST paid, you can take as credit. Then they said, no, your supplier should report it in GSTR1 and it should come into your 2B, then only you can take. Sir, what if he has not reported? Okay, plus 20% extra you take. Then they reduced it to plus 10%. Then they reduced it to plus 5%. Now they are telling only match the ITC you will take. That also they did not stop. Your supplier filed GSTR1 not sufficient. If your supplier has not filed 3B and not paid tax, whatever ITC you avail, you reverse. Section 41, latest amendment. Okay. They don't have the clarity as to what they are speaking. And if we speak in this language with the foreign trade, what will happen? No, people outside India will think better. Okay, you settle down and sell. Until that point of time, don't confuse us. Okay, so that's the reason why customs outside the ambit. Then service tax was levied on services and sales tax on sale of goods. These are the 4 indirect taxes levied by central government in the past. But at present, except customs duty, other 3 got subsumed into GST. So see the next to next page, page number 5. What are the various taxes that got subsumed into GST? Central excise duty, service tax and central sales tax got subsumed into GST. And what about this additional customs duties? Additional customs duties like that we had in the past under customs called as CVD and SAD, countervailing duty and special additional duty, to counterbalance the excise duty and sales tax on imported articles. For example, you are importing a smartphone. On you, there will be only customs duty burden. You are importing. I am talking about the past. But if I am purchasing the smartphone in India, what and all burdens I will be having? The smartphone is manufactured by one person. So that person will charge excise duty on me. That smartphone is sold to me by one person. So he will be charging sales tax to me. Are you understanding? And that smartphone is manufactured using the raw material. So on that raw material, whatever customs duty paid is also recovered from me. So which means I will have customs duty burden on raw material, excise duty on finished goods and sales tax on sale of that product. But on you, there is only one burden. What is that? Customs duty paid on import of smartphone. So then what will happen if it is like this? On you only one burden, customs duty on import of smartphone. On me, three burdens. What are the three burdens? Customs duty paid on import of raw material for smartphone, excise duty paid on manufacture of smartphone, sales tax on sale of smartphone. Now who will have more burden? Local buyer or importer? Local buyer. So which means indirectly local buyer also will become importer. They will stop purchasing locally and they will import. Then economy will fumble. Due to that reason, they have added two indirect taxes on import to compensate the excise duty. What I have extra is excise duty and sales tax. To compensate that excise duty and sales tax on imported articles, they have levied so that the import will become costlier than the domestic purchase. Okay. And these two additional customs duties are called as CVD and SAD. CVD refers to countervailing duty. Why countervailing duty is levied? To counterbalance excise duty on like article if imported. Then SAD refers to special additional duty. Why special additional duty is levied? To counterbalance sales tax on like article if imported. Okay. So you can see the footnote in the same page. Customs duty is not part of GST, but additional customs duty like countervailing duty to counterbalance excise duty and special additional duty to counterbalance sales tax are forming part of GST. Understood? So what is the purpose of CVD and SAD? I have given there. CVD is to counterbalance excise duty. SAD is to counterbalance sales tax. Simple. Whether excise duty now coming into GST? Yes. Sales tax now coming into GST? Yes. As CVD, SAD is duplicate of excise duty and sales tax. As excise duty and sales tax comes into GST, so CVD and SAD also comes into GST, which means on import at present we have to pay not only customs duty but also GST. Why we need to pay GST on import of goods? We have to pay only customs duty. Now why are we required to pay GST? Because in the past we had CVD and SAD. As that CVD SAD got subsumed into GST, so in the place of that CVD SAD there will be GST. So that's why on import of goods we need to pay GST. Is it clear? Then, so first point you need to remember how GST is formed. All indirect taxes levied by central government except customs duty, but including CVD and SAD under customs got subsumed into GST. Then, second, what are the state levies that we had in the past? Many state government indirect taxes we had, but we have not studied that. Like advertisement tax, betting tax, luxury tax, entertainment tax, purchase tax, VAT. So all these are like many indirect taxes which were levied by state government. But in these indirect taxes levied by state government, 6 indirect taxes levied by state government got subsumed into GST. What about the remaining indirect taxes levied by state government not got subsumed into GST? What are those 6 indirect taxes? You can see here, value added tax and purchase tax. Value added tax whenever the sale takes place within the state. Central sales tax is applicable whenever the sale takes place from one state to another state. Whereas value added tax whenever the sale takes place within the state, levied by state government, that is now merged into GST. Purchase tax in short known as octroi. So somewhere while final accounts and all you would have seen on carriage inwards octroi paid like that. Octroi is purchase tax. So whenever we are purchasing goods from another state, so or another territory, we will be levying, that is this state will be levying octroi, that is purchase tax. So even that also got subsumed into GST. Then tax on lottery, betting and gambling. Previously, not income tax. I am not talking about income tax, lottery, gambling, horse races. So that is there. But state government also used to levy tax on lottery. That's the reason why a lot of people will do gambling and betting illegally. Income tax they need to pay, and indirect taxes state government also will be levying, so it will not be remunerative for them. So that tax which was levied on lottery, betting, gambling also now subsumed into GST. Then entertainment tax. Entertainment tax was levied by state government on cinema theatres, DTH providers, cable TV operators, then on actors who are all in that particular state. So every state will have one movie industry now. So that particular state on the actors, so they levied entertainment taxes if their residence is in that particular state, etc. So this entertainment tax levied by state government also now subsumed into GST. Then luxury tax on hotel accommodation, like 4-star, 5-star hotel accommodation. Previously, one tax was levied by state government called as luxury tax. That is also now subsumed. Then advertisement tax on the hoardings, like big hoardings when we keep. So as these hoardings are promoting the advertisement of products, so they have to pay. Basically these hoardings are owned by some ad agencies, advertising agencies. So these advertising agencies are required to pay advertisement tax to the state government. Like today we will see a lot of bus and all ad, we will be seeing full ad. So mostly CA coaching centers, then these jewelry shops, then ready-made garment shop, these people will be making lot of ads. So these ads and all, like they have to pay advertisement tax in the past. But today there is no advertisement tax because that is subsumed into GST. So tell me what are the 6 indirect taxes levied by state government that got subsumed into GST? Value added tax, purchase tax, then lottery, betting tax, then entertainment tax, luxury tax, advertisement tax. These are the 6 state government levies that got subsumed into GST. What are the other indirect taxes levied by state government that not got subsumed into GST? Is there anything? Yes, we have local body tax in Maharashtra, mandi tax in Karnataka, and even professional tax. Is there or not? State government, we need to pay professional taxes. Lot of officers are required to pay professional taxes to the state government. So professional tax. So these are some indirect taxes, examples, which are levied by state government but not subsumed into GST. Sir, what about local authority taxes, sir? Local authority also will have power to tax, yes. Whether that local authority taxes subsumed into GST? No. For example, entertainment tax levied by state government got subsumed into GST, but the same entertainment tax levied by local authority not got subsumed into GST. Even today, for cinema theatre ticket, we need to pay entertainment tax, and that burden is on us. GST also we are paying, entertainment tax also we are paying, but that entertainment tax which we are paying is not to the state government, that entertainment tax is to the local authority. So that not got subsumed into GST, that's why even today we are paying. Okay, understood? So 3 points you need to remember. Number 1, how GST is formed. All indirect taxes levied by central government except customs duty, including CVD and SAD, got subsumed into GST. Second, specified indirect taxes levied by state government. That is, the 6 specified indirect tax levied by state government got subsumed into GST. Then indirect taxes levied by local authority, subsumed or not subsumed into GST? Not subsumed into GST. Okay. Then whether in India we follow dual GST model or single GST model, that is GST a dual tax model or a single tax model? What is the difference between single tax versus dual tax? Income tax is single tax model, means only one government will be collecting. Income tax is collected by central government, and thereafter in the budget they will be allocating it to the state government, correct? Whereas GST is not like that. GST is not a single tax model, it's a dual tax model. Central government also will have power to levy and state government also will have power to levy parallelly on the common tax base. Okay, for example, you're paying fees now. On that fees there is 18% GST. In that 18% GST, so 9% will be CGST and 9% will be SGST, which means 9% will go to central government and 9% will go to state government. So this model is known as dual GST model. Mainly states wanted the liberty in spending. So they cannot always seek the support from the central government. So they need to have some revenue for the sake of that. It's like say for example, Tamil Nadu government wanted some 5,000 crores for the purpose of doing the repair for the floods, etc. and all. And when they need 5,000 crores for doing this repair, yes, the damage is so severe that they need money, 5,000 crores. Now what central government will ask? So already you released one white paper stating that you have spent 4,000 crores for the purpose of this drainage system, etc. and all. What happened to that 4,000 crores? Like that central government may ask, and these people have to reply to that. No, if it is their money, so why they should reply anything to anyone? My money, I will take or my family will take. What is your problem? Okay, so therefore this questioning and all they don't want. State governments don't want, and there could be genuine case also. There could be non-genuine case also. But always there will be a tug of war between state government and central government. And South India, needless to say, because what we have done, we asked for a separate country. You give separate country to us. We don't want any national party and all. Okay, and therefore we will not encourage BJP and all here. So never here the BJP will be ruling. And if at all Congress comes, in center Congress will not be there. So therefore central government will not have the complete support to the state governments, because these people will go in different directions. And that's why they want some revenue to meet their needs. That's why dual GST model. And we have adopted this dual GST model from Brazil and Canada. So in Brazil and Canada, this system was there. But in many countries, they are following single GST model only. Singapore single GST model, but even Dubai, etc. So VAT, they will not call it as GST, but VAT. But all those are single tax model. Only country will be levying, that is government, central government will be levying. So, but in Brazil and Canada, we had this dual GST model. So, from there, we have copied this model. You can see dual GST model refers to levy of GST simultaneously by center and state on common tax base. Why dual GST is required in India? Because India is a federal country. Federal country means what? Both center and states have been given powers to do certain activities. And dual GST is designed keeping in mind the constitutional requirement of fiscal federalism. And write down one point here. So dual GST model is adapted from Brazil and Canada. Dual GST model is adopted from Brazil and Canada. Okay, but how this GST will be levied simultaneously? For that, we need to understand intrastate and interstate supply. What is a taxable event under GST? Taxable event means what? One event will happen. Upon happening of that event, we need to pay the tax. That is known as taxable event. So what is the taxable event under customs? import or export of goods is the taxable event. What is the taxable? What was the taxable event under excise duty? Manufacture. You manufacture, you pay excise duty. You are not manufacturing, no need to pay excise duty. Same way for sales tax, what will be the taxable event? Sale. You sell, you pay tax. If you are not selling, no need to pay tax. Like that. What is the taxable event under GST? Supply of goods or services or both. So this supply of goods or services is the taxable event. What is supply? We will learn in the next chapter, meaning of supply. But right now, supply. And as you have studied intermediate, you will be definitely having some idea about the meaning of supply and all. So they will give certain transactions for consideration in the course or furtherance of business. It will be treated as supply like that. So first the activity should become supply. For example, I am taking classes. So that should become supply. It has essential ingredients to become supply. So that's what I said we will learn in the next chapter. So once an activity becomes supply, so we have to check whether it is intrastate supply or interstate supply. How will it differ? If the location of supplier and the place of supply is in same state or same union territory, it is what? Intrastate. What are the two factors we need to check here? Location of supplier and place of supply. Let's take this situation. So I am taking classes now. What is the location of supplier? Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And place of supply depends. We have various provisions related to place of supply. Depending upon the transaction, we need to determine the place of supply. Sometimes the place of supply will be location of recipient. Sometimes the place of supply will be location where service are actually performed. Sometimes the place of supply will be location of the immovable property. Sometimes place of supply will be location of supplier. Like that, different transactions, different place of supplies are there. That is one chapter which we will be learning. You can see the index. We have a separate chapter on place of supply. So there we will be learning for what transaction, what is the place of supply like that. Okay. So this place of supply in case of taking classes is location of recipient. So what is the location of recipient? Say Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Okay. Or Tamil Nadu. Now what will be the nature of supply? Intrastate supply. So what is the type of GST that will be applicable? CGST and SGST. Okay. So CGST levied by whom? Central government. SGST levied by whom? State government. Now there might be some online students who might be attending from other states or Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala and all. Now in that case, what will be the nature of supply to them? Location of supplier Tamil Nadu and place of supply will be other state, then it will be called as interstate supply. So what is the meaning of interstate supply? If the location of supplier and the place of supply is in two different states, two different union territories or a state and a union territory, then it will be called as interstate supply. And what is the type of GST in case of interstate supply? IGST. This IGST full form is what? Integrated Goods and Services Tax. Who will be levying this? Central government will be levying and it will be recovered from the supplier. For example, I am a supplier located in Tamil Nadu and my student is located in Kerala. Okay. Now it's an interstate supply. I will pay IGST to central government. Now full IGST will go to the central government only? No, because the purpose of dual GST is what? CGSG equal partners, correct or not? CGSG both should have got the share. In case of intra, that is achieved. 50 will go to center, 50 will go to state, correct or not? Just now we saw 9% will go to central, 9% will go to Tamil Nadu state. That's okay. But in case of interstate, I am paying IGST. That IGST I pay to central government, but fully 18% whether central government will keep? No. They will be sharing 50% with the state because of the dual GST model. Because of the dual GST model, they cannot keep fully. They have to share 50% with the state. With which state they will share? Tamil Nadu or Kerala? Kerala, because GST is a destination based consumption tax. which means wherever the goods and services are getting consumed, means whatever is the place of supply to that particular state, it will be shared. So here 50% which is collected by 100% which is collected by central government, 50% they will retain and remaining 50% they will share with the consuming state. Understood? So we have seen intra-state supply, interstate supply. You can see that in the next page. Intrastate supply means location of supplier, place of supply in the same state or same union territory. Whereas interstate supply, location of supplier and place of supply is in two different states, two different union territories, or a state and a union territory. And in case of intrastate supply, if it is in the same state, the type of GST will be CGST and SGST. In case of within the union territory, CGST and UTGST. Whereas in case of interstate supply, the type of GST will be IGST. So what are the various types of GSTs that we have come across? Total 4. CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST. CGST levied by? SGST levied by? UTGST levied by? Central government. Union territories are under the control of central government. So UTGST is levied by central government. IGST levied by central government. First 3, CGST, SGST, UTGST on intra or inter? Intra. And IGST is on inter. Even though central government is levying that, 50% will go to consuming state based on place of supply. You can see that information in the next page. GST we have CGST, SGST, IGST and UTGST. CGST levied and collected by central government, SGST levied and collected by state government, IGST levied and collected by central government and 50% shared with consuming state based on place of supply. UTGST levied and collected by central government, CGST, SGST, UTGST on intrastate, whereas IGST is on interstate supply. Done. Now, because this IGST is being levied by central government and 50% is shared with the consuming state, the producing states will have the difficulty here. For example, there is a factory in Tamil Nadu and goods which are manufactured in Tamil Nadu will be sold in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. So because Kerala is not a good place for starting a manufacturing facility, because of the political environment over there, they will not encourage capitalists. So because it's basically a communist ideology, so due to that reason, people who belong to Kerala, they will shift to some other state if they want to do business. For example, MRF, like that one tire manufacturer is there. You know, MRF belongs to which state? Kerala. MRF founder is from Kerala. So it's basically a Kerala based company and they don't have factory in Kerala. They have factory in Tamil Nadu. They have factory in Telangana. They have factory in Gujarat, but they don't have factory in Kerala. So even for their people itself, it is very difficult there because of the ideology. I'm not commenting anything, but it is about the ideology that the party is having over there. So communist parties, they will not encourage. And Karnataka, we don't have a conducive environment for factories because of the availability of the transportation, road and all, because Karnataka mostly it is Ghat sections. So because of that, we don't have good place to start the factory. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, again because of the political issues and all. Tamil Nadu, a very friendly environment for industries. All kind of industries we can have here. Only thing, cutting you give, you start. You understood? So therefore, you know, here lot of factories are started. Now these goods are sold in the neighboring states. When it is sold in the neighboring states, in the past there used to be central sales tax which was completely collected by the Tamil Nadu government. Correct? Interstate sale, CST revenue will go to originating state. What is the originating state? Tamil Nadu. Sir, CST central sales tax na levied by central government. Yes, central sales tax even though levied by central government, but it will be collected and retained by state governments. You understood? So, see this. Central sales tax levied by central government. Check second page. Central sales tax levied by central government on interstate sale, that is from one state to another, but collected by state government. So now Tamil Nadu factory sale in neighboring states, type of tax was CST, collected by state government. Even though levied by central government, it was collected by state government. Now they were enjoying the benefit. Now, if you see in GST regime, what happens? Whenever the sale happens in the neighboring states, what is the type of GST? IGST. In that IGST, 50% will go to, remaining 50% will go to, means producing state will not have anything. Are you getting this? Previously, producing state used to get entire amount. Now, it will go to the consuming states. And because of which, the producing states revenue will get affected. I'll not say it will come down always, but it may get affected because there is other way they will be getting revenue. Previously, service tax was fully collected by central government, but now in the place of service tax we have GST, so partly it will be collected by state government also now. Now what if the producing states is not getting proper revenue because of the implementation of GST? Are you understanding the challenge that is involved in this? For that reason, central government has assured the state governments, producing states or every state, don't worry. Because of implementation of GST, if there is loss of revenue to your state, we will give you the compensation. Got it? So what is that? If there is any loss of revenue to states, any state, why to differentiate between producing? The reason I told you why there will be loss of revenue. So any state, because we cannot differentiate. So any state on account of implementation of GST, loss of revenue to the state government. Which revenue? Total tax revenue or indirect tax revenue? Indirect tax revenue on account of implementation of GST. That loss will be compensated by central government to the state government. And state governments are very happy. They all agreed for implementation of GST, no doubt about that. So every state agreed, because see, their issue is this only. The moment when GST becomes a consumption tax, then we will not get anything. What about that? Don't worry, we are there. And we will give you the compensation for 5 years from the date of implementation of GST, and it can be extended for a further period also, still if you are incurring the losses. 5 years means what? 1st July 2017 is the effective date of implementation of GST. From 1st July 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It's over, sir. Over. But still state governments could not recover the GST revenues. So their revenues have come down. So due to that reason, it got extended. This compensation period got extended till 31st March 2026. Just remember this. When I take that place, I will cross refer to that. So you just remember it got extended till 31st March 2026. And sir, it's good only na sir, up to 2026 central government is going to pay. No, there is a flip side to it. That is, they are not going to pay out of their pocket. They are not going to pay out of their share of 50%. They are going to levy that in turn on the people. So they have notified some goods. On those notified goods, they created a cess called as compensation cess. GST compensation cess. This GST compensation cess is levied on some notified goods, not sold in that state only. To which state they are paying? Notified goods across the country. Are you getting? Suppose for Bihar or West Bengal, if central government is giving compensation, that revenue is sourced from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Telangana. Are you understanding this? Which means it is not levied in that state where they are paying compensation. They are levying it across the country. on the notified goods. And if you see, the offending parties here is few states only again. For this, there is no solution. Like Bihar, West Bengal, you take these two states, even Uttar Pradesh. Do you think they will properly pay taxes and all? No. Sir, controlling the crime itself is a big task there. And where from the people will become civilized and they start paying the taxes, definitely, unaccounted transactions are only more. Government has tough time in controlling the crime there. First controlling crime, then only civil obligation of collecting taxes. You understood? So rather than controlling crime, they will not be, okay, you kill, you pay tax. We cannot ask that way, na? So they are doing their duty. Government is doing their duty first. What is their duty? So controlling the crime and bringing the civic society. So then thereafter collection of taxes, but until that point of time the state governments will not have proper revenue. So therefore the compensation will be payable. So therefore whether the transaction is intrastate or interstate, whether the transaction is intrastate or interstate on notified goods, so there will be GST compensation cess. Understood? Clear? So this compensation cess which is collected by the central government on the notified goods will be utilized for what purpose? To pay the compensation to the states on account of implementation of GST if there is any loss. So therefore, how many GSTs that we have? 5. CGST, SGST, UTGST, IGST and GST compensation cess. What is the difference between tax and cess? Tax and cess. Because even in income tax you have health and education cess.
Cess can be used for specified purpose.
So cess is used only for specified purpose. So for example, here GST compensation cess is collected. So this GST compensation cess should be used only for compensating the states on account of loss of revenue. And then health and education cess used only for the purpose of health and education. But tax common. It can be used for any purpose. For construction of bridges, dams, statues, anything it can be used. So new parliament building, old parliament building, anything. So we can use it for any purpose. So maybe for public welfare also. Okay. And then what is the difference between tax and duty? Tax and duty. Because customs duty, whereas GST, goods and services tax. Any difference in that? No, basically both are same. But duty is a word which is used in olden days because it was an obligation on the person to make the payment whether they are generating any revenue out of it or not. For example, customs duty. You are importing, you have to pay customs duty. Sir, I am importing for my own purpose. Even then should I pay customs duty? Yes. You are not generating any revenue out of that. Even then you need to pay? Yes, you need to pay. So that's where the objective of duty came, whereas tax is not like that. So for example, I am a constructor. I am constructing my own house. Should I pay any GST? No. I am a builder, pa. I know how to construct the house. So I will only buy all the material required. I will construct my house. Should I pay GST to government? No. If I construct for others, I receive some money from others and then only I need to pay GST. So that's the difference between duty and tax. So duty is whether you are getting consideration or not in the transaction, you have an obligation to pay. That is duty. Whereas tax, only when you have consideration involved in the transaction, you have to pay, that is tax. But in GST, that difference is defeated. Because in GST, we have some transactions, even though without consideration, we need to pay GST. So that's what you would have learned. Section 7, subsection 1, clause C, read with schedule 1. So 4 activities: DRIP, disposal of business asset on which ITC availed, related party transaction, import of service from related person, principal agent transaction, like that. Anyhow, we will come across that in the next chapter, but I am just telling you, these 4 transactions, even though without consideration, we need to pay GST. Okay, so the difference between duty and tax is defeated in GST, so don't remember that, but the difference between tax and cess is there for your reference only, not for exam purpose and all. Then, so therefore, how many laws that we have? What are the types of GSTs you told me? CGST levied by, so central government, how many central governments? One central government, so therefore one CGST Act. Then SGST levied by state government. How many state governments we have? 28, 29, 28. How 28? Jammu and Kashmir is state or not? Not a state, it's a union territory. Good. So 28 states. But 3 union territories are given partial statehood. It will be treated like state only for the purpose of GST. What are those 3 union territories? Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The state of Jammu and Kashmir got divided into 2. Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Union territory of Ladakh. Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir is union territory with state legislature, means it will function like a state. Assembly, chief minister, cabinet of ministers, everything will be like a state, but it is called as union territory, where there will be shared power of central government and state governments. So therefore, it will be like a state only for GST purpose. Then next, Delhi. Delhi is also a union territory, but with state legislature. So therefore, it is treated like a state for GST purpose. And then Puducherry, Pondicherry. So Pondicherry is also considered as, state only for the purpose of GST, even though it is a union territory, because these 3 union territories are called as union territory with state legislature. You can see this in 4th page. In 4th page, you can see we have one IGST Act. We have one IGST Act and one CGST Act. Who will levy IGST? So one IGST Act. CGST, central government, so one CGST Act. Again, SGST levied by state government, 31 SGST Act. How 31? Just now you said 28 states plus 3 union territories with state legislature. What are those 3 union territories with state legislature? Delhi, Puducherry, Jammu and Kashmir are 3 union territories with state legislature. So SGST Act will be applicable. So 28 plus 3, 31 SGST Act. For remaining union territories, what are the remaining union territories? Remaining union territories are called as union territory without state legislature. That is 5. Andaman and Nicobar, Chandigarh, Dadra, Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, that is now considered as one union territory only. Then Lakshadweep and Ladakh. So these are the remaining 5 union territories which are treated as union territory without state legislature. For all these 5 union territories together, we have only one GST, that is one GST, UT GST Act. We don't have separate UT GST Act because all these 5 union territories are under whose control? Central government control. As central government is only one, so therefore one UT GST Act. Understood? Next, suppose if location of supplier and place of supply is in Andaman. So Andaman is actually a city now. Okay, lot of things are there, and it's not like only the prison. Olden days Andaman means prison, but now it's like a town kind of. All those things are available. Lot of people are living there. So supplier also Andaman and Nicobar, and place of supply also Andaman and Nicobar. What will be the nature of supply? Intrastate. What is the type of GST? CGST plus UT GST. Okay. Then what if supplier is located in Pondicherry? Okay. Place of supply is Andaman. Supplier is Pondicherry. Place of supply is Andaman. Interstate. So type of GST? IGST. Superb. Then what if supplier is in Chandigarh, Union Territory, and place of supply is Lakshadweep, Union Territory? Then IGST only? Yes, it's interstate. One union territory to another union territory, a state and a union territory, one state and another state. All this will be treated as interstate, and the type of GST will be always IGST. Okay, so you can see this illustration in page number 8. See the illustration in page number 8. First one, location of supplier Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, place of supply also Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. What is the nature of supply? Intra. Type of GST? CGST plus UTGST or SGST? SGST, not UTGST, because Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is treated as state because it is Union Territory with state legislature. That's why SGST Act will be applicable. Then location of supplier Union Territory of Ladakh and place of supply also Union Territory of Ladakh. Nature of supply intra, and type of GST CGST plus UTGST. Then location of supplier Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, place of supply Union Territory of Ladakh. Inter. And type of GST IGST. Now tell me whether 50% is shared with consuming state. Place of supply is what? Ladakh. Ladakh is what? Union Territory with state legislature or without state legislature? Without state legislature means it is under the control of central government, so they don't have to share 50%. When they need to share 50%, if it is a state or a union territory with state legislature, so 100% to central government. They don't have to share. Understood, pa? When they need to share is that if the place of supply is a state or a union territory with state legislature. Then location of supply Arunachal Pradesh, place of supply Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Interstate IGST, will the 50% be shared? Yes, 50% to Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Then, what about Daman, Diu, Dadra, Nagar Haveli? Previously it was 2 union territories. Now it is merged as single union territory. So don't take it as inter, take it as intra. Supplier Daman, Diu, place of supply Dadra, Nagar Haveli. Previously it was inter, but now it will be intra because these two are becoming one union territory. Look into the next one. Location of supplier Chennai, place of supply Tamil Nadu, nature of supply intrastate supply. So the type of GST will be CGST and SGST. So the CGST is levied and collected by central government. SGST is collected by state government of Tamil Nadu. Then supplier Tamil Nadu, Chennai Tamil Nadu, and place of supply Bengaluru Karnataka, interstate supply, the type of GST will be IGST. In that IGST, so who will be levying it? Central government, and 50% to state government of Karnataka. Then location of supplier Chennai Tamil Nadu, place of supply Pondicherry, union territory having partial statehood. Nature of supply interstate supply, type of GST IGST, and levied and collected by central government, and 50% to union territory of Pondicherry because it is a union territory with state legislature, na, that's why. Then next, location of supplier Delhi, union territory having partial statehood, place of supply also Delhi, union territory having partial statehood. So what is the nature? Intra, CGST, UTGST, SGST, SGST, CGST levied by central government, SGST here union territory of Delhi. Then location of supplier Chennai Tamil Nadu, place of supply Chandigarh, interstate IGST, and fully central government, no sharing. Why no sharing? Place of supply is union territory without state legislature. Then location of supplier Chandigarh, place of supply also Chandigarh, intrastate CGST, and UTGST, CGST levied by central government, UTGST levied by central government. When both are levied by central government, why we have separate name UTGST? Because they want to account whatever revenue that is contributed by the union territory separately, just for accounting purpose, so that tomorrow for spending and calculation it will be easy, right? How much revenue they are contributing. So for that reason only, just an accounting head is different, that is UTGST. Then, so look into the position of goods under GST in comparison to earlier system. You can see this in page number 10. Okay, so first we have seen how GST formed. Then we saw what is the type of GST that we have, that is dual GST. Then we have seen what are the various GSTs that we have and when which GST will be applicable. Now, whether GST is applicable on all goods? No. There are two goods on which GST is not applicable. What are those two goods? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petroleum products on which there is no GST. So what are the petroleum products on which there is no GST? 5 petroleum products: crude oil, petrol, diesel, aviation turbine fuel and natural gas. These are the 5 petroleum products. Crude oil, then petrol. Petrol has another name, motor spirit. Sometimes motor spirit means you don't think something else, it is petrol only. Okay. Then high speed diesel. Sir, for light diesel GST is applicable? Yes. High speed diesel only GST is not applicable. Okay, I have given already what are those petroleum products below: crude oil, petrol, diesel, aviation turbine fuel and natural gas. But which diesel pa? High speed diesel. High speed diesel. High speed diesel. Sir, what about light diesel? We have light diesel also. For that light diesel, whether GST is applicable? Yes. And crude oil is base. And petrol, also known as motor spirit. Petrol also known as motor spirit. Now, say this, why on alcohol there is no GST? Because initially alcohol, levy of tax on alcohol was a state subject. It was given in state list under 7th schedule to the constitution. 7th schedule to the constitution contains the powers of central government and state government, wherein the power to levy tax on alcoholic liquor was given to the state government from the day 1 in the constitution. So due to that reason, states were only been levying state excise duty and CST and VAT. CST and VAT, CST even though levied by central government, but it will be retained by state government, means completely the revenue was going to state government only. Now all of a sudden, if you bring the alcoholic liquor for human consumption into the ambit of GST, what will happen? Center also will take 50%. So state government do not want that to happen. So that's why this alcoholic liquor, they did not agree to bring it into the ambit of GST. It was excluded into the ambit of GST. And that's why at present, even after implementation of GST, there will be state excise duty, CST and VAT on sale of alcoholic liquor for human consumption. You can see here, alcohol for human consumption, this is after implementation of GST, not before implementation of GST, after implementation of GST, on alcoholic liquor for human consumption, we need to pay central excise duty, state excise duty, central excise duty not there, only state excise duty, then CST and VAT. GST we don't have. Then petroleum products, on petroleum products, we have to pay central excise duty instead of state excise duty, but CST VAT is common and there is no GST. But the exclusion of alcohol from GST is permanent. Permanently it is excluded, it will never come. But petroleum products, why is it excluded from GST? Because on petroleum products, states were having the liberty of taxing. Central government will levy central excise duty, which is common. But the states also will be levying. But people will not know this fact and they will be telling, why petrol price is increasing? Because of Modi. Because of Modi, petrol price is increasing. Boss, not only because of Modi, because of Stalin also. You understood? Don't be one-sided. Yes, of course, central government is there, but state government also is there. Don't think and assume, be in an assumption like only central government, because of central government only petrol price is increasing. No. Then why there is a difference in petrol price between the states? Across the country, petrol price is same. Huh? Is it because of the freight difference? One person said, why there is a difference between the petrol price? Because freight, Delhi, less freight. Chennai, more freight. So because of that much difference in price. No, it's not because of the freight and all. State governments will be levying VAT on this. So these VAT changes. That's where, okay, forget about Delhi and Tamil Nadu here. You see Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh petrol price is high, Tamil Nadu it is less. Why such a case? So that much price difference will not happen for these two states and all. Then why it is like that? So it is because of the state government which will be levying the value added tax. So this liberty of blaming the central government will not be there if the GST comes. So that's why they don't want. But central government did not agree. They said no, it should come into the ambit of GST. Finally, so they agreed upon like, okay, let's postpone this for some time. As and when GST Council decide, it will come. So they have been deciding for the last 5 years. Already 5 years also over. So this exclusion is temporary. And in future, it may come into the ambit of GST. Okay. But I don't know when that future is. So that's what like, what is that? Multidisciplinary case study, what is it? Self-paced. Exclusion is temporary, okay? Trust me. And I don't know when it will be coming. Like that. So petroleum products also exclusion is temporary, but it will come into the ambit of GST. Problem is like, states are not agreeing. Central government wanted it to come, but the states are not agreeing. Every GST Council meeting, a constant agenda is this. That is to discuss upon bringing petroleum products into the ambit of GST. But they will say that, okay, we are not agreeing to this decision. So when states are not agreeing, how it will come? But when you ask states, state will say, what we can do? We should ask central government only. They're literally playing football match, with us. Central government is telling state government is telling central government. We should make both of them sit before us and we should speak, okay? So otherwise there is no end to this because price is growing like anything and everyone is blaming the other person. And central government will tell, finance minister will tell, okay, if petrol comes into the ambit of GST, the price will come down. Then bring then bring, but they are not listening. But alcohol will never come. Actually, alcohol, state government also should not levy. That was the initial idea given by Mahatma Gandhi ji. So Mahatma Gandhi ji, when he fought for independence, he said, bloody idiots, you are all alcohol addiction you have. Because of that, you don't know that someone is coming from other country and is ruling you. Even without knowing that, you have given your country and you became like slaves. First, remove that habit of alcohol. And our people, agreed, yes, definitely, Gandhi ji, you are correct. And we will fight. So, independence we got. Then, so Gandhi ji said, let's abolish alcohol in India. Now it is in our hands, let's abolish. For which Nehru said, no, if alcohol is abolished, how taxes will be collected by the state? So many states are dependent on alcohol revenue only like that. So he said, okay, fine. So we will give the option to the states. So if you follow my principle, remove alcohol, okay? And some states really followed, Gujarat and some states they followed and they removed. and remaining states, Gandhiji, we love you, but few days allow us because we need revenue. But today the situation is government itself starts selling, and in the Tajbag shop they keep the Gandhiji's photo. How it started, how it is going, no? So it's like, had he been alive, no, I don't know what is his reaction. That's the situation today. And state government also should not levy, but initially as it was given to the state governments, but they are continuing this. Then tobacco and tobacco products on, 1 second. Fine. So camera went off. So time is over, I think. That's why they have turned it off. Fine. So I asked them to remind, but this way they are reminding. So next class we will continue first. So what we have seen so far is what are the various goods which are not coming under the ambit of GST. So remaining portion we will continue from next class, that is tomorrow, and tomorrow and after tomorrow also the same timing. Okay, thank you.